Oh, have a look at that. What have they done?
You know what? It must be the week for it, yeah? That's, what do we have? The hardest drive shaft, the bolt underneath ever to get out. Now we've got the hardest Prado shafts, wheel bearing assemblies to get off the shafts we've ever had. That was crazy. I mean, lucky I got the big hammers the other day for the other job. I tried the small one, but the big one had to come out. We even split the timber. You can see the absolute smashing that's been going on there. And had to go to the hardwood. The hardwood got it, but it was hard work, right, with the hardwood. But you can see the problem, right? So if you use your vehicle in salty areas, off-roading, where water is going to get in there, that sort of thing. Somebody's worked on this vehicle before. They damaged the caps. Mate, can you please chuck the caps over here onto the bench so everyone can have a look? What will have happened here? It's important that your caps are sealed, right? Because what will have happened here, and since you've got dirty hands, can you turn these two bearings over for me as well? So what will have happened, to get moisture into there and get the shafts rusted and seized onto the bearing, the caps are probably damaged. Did we do that?
Of course not.
Did we do these big dents?
Of course not.
Right, so someone's been in there before. Do you like that? Of course not, right? We got it. We showed you in the videos how to do it without wrecking the caps, right? These caps are wrecked. Someone's been in there before, and I'm making reasons now why. And it's caused drama for us. I believe water's got in. So if you can do me a favour, since you got dirty hands and I'm holding a camera, just flip these two bearings over so that you chuck the seal away, mate. Just throw that in the bin, mate. Whatever. Good demonstration. Have a last look at this side, people. Bit of water, bit of rust, bit of corrosion. Look at that. That one's all black. We'll talk about what may have been contributors, because I like to try and figure things out. Do you remember which side was which? Was this side, this side?
The driver, passenger.
So this is the driver, this side?
Yeah.
Right, so this is the one that somebody's absolutely hammered the absolute you-know-what out of some other time, and they've completely destroyed the thread on the drive shaft. It'll be okay, but people need to know about it. So we'll clean it up. We'll probably put new caps on with the new hubs, which adds extra cost. These things are about 40 bucks each. So just round numbers, adds another 100 bucks to the job, just like that. Not to mention the extra work and the replacement timber and the replacement hammers, wear and tear on the hammers, and my arm. But look, see the rust down in the middle there? Probably because you can see all this surface rust. Normally these are shiny inside here. Wouldn't you agree?
Correct.
Yeah, so they're normally shiny clean in here because these caps, they're quality. That's why they're 40 bucks each. They've got a coating on them and they just fit in so tight. They're a little bit hard to install and they just absolutely seal this. There's a coating inside here as well on the genuine hubs. Another reason why we use and supply the genuine hubs assembled with the bearing and then make it easier for you guys. But that is nice and it's got a sealing surface there and water does not leak and get in here. But I'm going, well, a couple of things could have happened. Those seals we threw in the bin, they could have been leaking. These O-rings here, they could leak a little bit. And I'll show you what we do to help prevent that in a minute. Let's actually go to the car for a minute. So this one's in the cleaning process. I want to show you. So see the rust. The moisture comes in from this side and it penetrates in between these surfaces here. And then it gets to the O-ring. And generally the O-ring stops it. If you see rust inside, you know a bit of rust has got in there. Right, so once all the maximum cleaning's done, and you need to have a good surface there because that's right where the O-ring sits. And that's another reason why you do what I'm about to show you, particularly when you're using an old steering knuckle and you're ever going to go in water again because grease helps repel the water. Over this side, this one's complete and ready for action. Now, it's got a new seal in the back there, which is going to seal it. The drive shaft surface back there is okay. The issue is the thread. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But see how we've got that copper grease that's good for 1,000 degrees. That's just going to stay there and that's going to help repel the water and keep it away from the O-ring even. The O-ring, that can get some copper grease on it as well. We don't need to fill up in here because we don't want it to get on the sensor and it's not actually going to do anything. We just want a little bit of lubrication on the seal, right? And we just want this flat surface here covered and where the O-ring and this tapered surface here is going to go. So it's really important to watch and listen to these videos and do the job right if you just want to get it right the first time. Otherwise, you're going to be doing it again. Now, let's talk about this drive shaft. That is just mincemeat, isn't it? Right? I mean, the nut goes on. This was not us, by the way. You can see on the end, someone's actually given it an absolute beating. And it took two of us with different techniques. Obviously, you can't just hit the shaft because A, it's going straight into the diff, it's already in. You need to have something behind to the steering knuckle to back block like those lumps of timber we had against some other metal components, so that you're actually hitting the shaft out of that bearing assembly, if you know what I mean. So you got to make sure you're hitting the right area. That's one of the most important things. If you're hitting metal on metal with this one, generally they're not stuck that badly, and you can certainly give these a fair bit metal on metal with a hammer and tap them out and crack them loose, that sort of thing. Mate, this one, I'll tell you now, wasn't happening, right? I gave it everything with that big sledgehammer. I mean, it's not that big. I mean, you know, that's the big one, right? It's got some weight to it, and I've got a sore arm from yesterday. Don't worry about what I was doing yesterday. We'll talk about that in another video. But yeah, 4 pounds, there you go, right? Versus, what's that one, 3 pounds? It's actually pretty heavy, actually. Not a big difference, but there you go. Bloody hammered the hammers. So what I do, I have the nut still on the shaft, and I've got it sitting flush with the end of the shaft, or maybe just below it, because what I want to do after every couple of hits is just spin the nut and make sure it's not getting tight, because if you start hitting the end of the shaft... This is the good one that we took off, right? Just to show you. This is the one that hasn't been messed around. They learnt their lesson when they did the other side, and they wouldn't touch this side, right? And the person that brought this car to us, well, I'm not lucky. They're lucky they did, though, because obviously we got it out. And, you know, you might get it out too, but if you have this trouble and you're not sort of prepared for it and equipped for it and got the patience for it, so that's beautiful. That's how it's meant to be. I've absolutely belted the hell out of that with that bit of hardwood. Once it started moving, I did get the hammer and just gently tap, tap, tap on the end there. And you can see it's tapered off. There's actually quite a lot of room to hit this and for it to mushroom out and not get in the way of the thread. But I like the nut on there so that I can just spin the nut, hit, spin the nut, hit it harder, spin the nut. Because if it starts getting tight, I know that I've got to stop hitting it, right? And of course, you've got the little hole in the middle. You can deal with that whichever way you like, how you're going to hit it. But anyway, wow, just have a look at that butcherized shaft. That is unbelievable what they've done. That. So what they've done is they've decided whatever they'll get. It's just quite, I can feel it. It's quite mushroomed out. They've really been into that with a hammer directly on the shaft. Bad idea. So what they've done is they've gone, oh, you know, it's tight, and they're hitting it and they're spraying it maybe and whatever, and it's just not coming out. And they've really hit it hard. They've mushroomed it out, and yeah, not good. And I don't know what they've done. Maybe fix the thread up a little bit or just put it on, just go for it. Once you get in here, it's not too bad. But the nut does start on its own, which is good. But be aware, that's butchered. And one day it'll need a new shaft, and it'll come off easy because we'll put a bit of grease on here for it, because we know one day it's going to get replaced. One day, all this is going to need to be able to be pulled apart again. So that's the thing you got to think about when you work on it. You're not really putting it together for the last time. It's, you know, it's got to be maintained. There's more maintenance to do. Anyway, quick video. Just wanted to show you that butcherism and bada bing, how to avoid it, and just spray it a lot. Big bit of hardwood. Like I said, I smashed the absolute hell out of it, and it took a lot of hits. We're talking a lot of hits before it started moving, and it was moving very slowly. And then once it moves out 5 or 10 mil, then just tap, tap, tap with a big hammer. It'll be fine hitting that, but don't smash the hell out of that directly, because it's going to end up in pain and suffering. Thanks for watching. Copy in the next video.